Welcome again to our show. I'm Harry Greenberger, president of New Orleans Secular Humanist Association and host for this show. We think our subject today is going to be of interest to you, whether you are secular or humanist, because today we're going to be talking about morality. Some of the people who study the subject of morality have a group of questions that they ask their subjects to determine how this would fit into a code of morals. And I'm going to ask our people on the panel today those questions, and it may come as a surprise to you, or you may be familiar with them. But here with us today, we have members of our organization, Dave Schultz, Connie Gordon, and Lanny Goldfinch. So here is your first question. A train on a railway line threatens to kill a number of people ahead. A person standing by a set of switches and in a position to divert the train onto a siding, saving the lives of 5 people trapped on the main line. But there's a man trapped on the siding. Since he's only one, outnumbered by the 5 people trapped on the main track, is it morally permissible, obligatory, or forbidden to throw the switch? So each of you, what is your opinion?
This is like a trick question.
It isn't trick. I mean, would you say that it is permissible, obligatory, or forbidden in your set of morality?
Now, you're assuming that the person at the switch doesn't know any of these
Doesn't
people.
know any of them.
Doesn't know anybody. Got no interest in the outcome other than the 4,
It's a question of what do I do? I pull this switch
random?
or not? I can save 5 people by killing 1.
Right.
I think if it were me, I would try to save more people.
And so you would say it's permissible or obligatory?
I would say it was permissible.
Dave, what's your opinion?
I would say it's permissible, given that the person who has the switch has to make the decision, and he's the one who has to live with the decision that,
right.
We're
that he
assuming
makes.
you're the one.
Right.
You're
Yes.
the one at the switch.
Yeah, you got to live with this decision.
All right, Lanny, where do you come in?
I would throw the switch, and I wouldn't worry about whether it's permissible and all that kind of stuff.
Well, right.
I'd just do it.
You would be concerned if it were forbidden, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't care whether it was forbidden or not.
All right,
I'd just do it.
you would. All right, now here's the second question.
So I wonder, could that person be charged with manslaughter after the fact?
After throwing the switch? Well, they could be. So what?
Actively throwing the switch. I mean,
So what?
Well,
So what? I mean, the law is never
but the question
necessarily
is, would
moral.
you, as a moral matter, what would you do? Now,
Laws are not the same things.
all right,
Morals.
second question.
Yeah, it gets more complicated.
What if the train can be stopped by dropping a large weight in its path from a bridge overhead?
Right.
What if the only large weight available
It's a fat man.
is a very fat man sitting on the bridge admiring the sunset? Is it moral to push the fat man off the bridge?
Okay, how fat is this man? That might be right.
Fat enough to stop the train.
But how could I pick him up?
Assuming you could do it. He's leaning over the railing. Now, you have the picture. It's a little bit different from the first one. Is your opinion the same? You have to physically push this man off the bridge.
I probably would ask him to jump and then help him.
Yeah.
That's not your choice. Well, you would help him. So you would say it's permissible.
I would, I think he probably would be charged in that case. You know,
Connie,
Louisiana, you'd be charged.
I would say it's permissible with his permission, yes.
Excuse me, would you mind dying for these random...
One would hope that he would see the dilemma and would just offer to jump anyway.
He'd probably grab you and jump with you. That would be what he should do.
Well, you're throwing in some conditions here. Dave, I mean, do you see a difference between pushing a switch and the train still kills somebody, or physically being involved with the man's death?
It feels to me like there is a difference. You're actively doing something to somebody.
All right. And so would you...
You're the causing, certainly the causing agent in that. In the first instance, the train is the agent that causes the death.
Yes.
In the second instance, it's you that you're actively involved in that.
That is correct. And therefore, your moral position would be...
I would not do that.
You would say it would be forbidden under your morals. All right, last question for you. The people who do this have more questions, but this is the last one I'm going to give you. 5 patients in a hospital are dying, each with a different organ failing. Each would be saved if a donor could be found for their particular faulty organ, but none is available. Then the surgeon notices that there is a healthy man in the waiting room, all 5 of whose organs are in good working order and suitable for transplanting. Is it moral to kill the one to save the 5?
Yes.
Mandatory or permissible?
Mandatory. Kill the innocent to save the others.
All right.
This is the kind of question. I would kill the people that wrote the question.
You don't have that option.
I know. Well, I do.
Connie and Dave, how do you view this one?
No, it's absolutely immoral to kill the one to save the others.
I think that's very analogous to the second example.
Right.
Where the
And so all right. Now here is what is reported as the outcome, at least from some people who use this test, and it says, for the first question about the switch, 90% said it was permissible. For the second question about pushing the fat man over, most of them said that it would be immoral, meaning forbidden. For the question about the patients that needed organs, 97% said forbidden.
Well, what does that show?
Here's what I'm going to tell you what it shows. They also found out, and I'm reading this from the report, the study showed no statistical significant differences between the atheists and religious believers in making these judgments. What I'm saying here is our morality, the morality of atheists, somehow or other, is very comparable to the morality of religious people. Now, what I would like us to get into and talk about now is the morality, the moral code of various religions in the world, either present or past, not only how they define morality, but also how they practice it. Now, but probably before we can do that, we need to ourselves come up with some kind of a definition of morality. And Connie, I think you were prepared to give us a definition. Is that right?
I have the etymology of the word moral.
Okay.
And it is derived from the Latin moralis, which is a combination of 2 other Latin words. Mor, referring to custom, tradition, or habit, and alus, which refers to people. Moralis, therefore, refers to the customs of the people. That's all that it means. Whatever the large majority of people think of as good or moral or correct behavior.
So that's culturally determined then. It's going to be different.
Determined.
So morality then would differ from group to group.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Among certain groups, stealing is a commandment almost.
Exactly.
Right, but there are certain morals, if you will, that virtually every culture on this planet since the beginning of history
have.
What? Like incest. Incest has always been taboo in every culture.
And the reason for that is what?
It's just instinctive.
But it's not to our senators and not to our senators here in Louisiana who raise horses. You remember him, Mr. McCain, who raised horses, says that incest is a way to raise good horses.
Well,
why not people?
We are talking about human
human beings now.
We're talking about human beings. And I think murder and theft also is agreed within a culture. Now, within a lot of cultures, it's okay to murder and thieve outside of your...
Outside your
group. We're going to get around to that. Now,